For me, the Ignite program has really developed my public speaking skills and helped me to build relationships with business people in the community.
I have learned throughout this entire process the importance of being detail-oriented and also how crucial it is to network in the business field.
What I hope to get from it is if after college or even in college I want to start my own business on myself, if it's like a side hustle or anything, this has definitely taught me what the amount of work goes into it, and I'm glad I've been part of this. It might have been like a rough journey, but it has showed me what I have to do to start a business on my own, and I'm thankful for that.
Ignite has helped me a lot by public speaking and getting to put myself out there. I've met a lot of people and made new connections, and I think that's really big when you're an adult in life. Putting yourself out there and understanding you'll make mistakes, but it's always good to learn, and I've learned how to do math correctly, understand a business plan, and I am definitely excited to move forward with this.
My entire life, I've kind of been rather independent and not really cared to ask questions. But throughout this program, I've asked more questions than I can count because it was beyond confusing. Getting into the numbers, for example, I asked Salvis probably 1,000 questions. It drove him insane, you can see it on his face. But something I'm gonna take from this throughout the rest of my life is ask questions. That's the most important thing about living, is learning.
So the Ignite program has helped me in many ways. For example, it has opened many doors for me that I didn't know existed. It has opened networks, it has introduced me to people that I didn't even know existed. And the opportunities that it introduced me to were just wonderful. And I didn't even know the options after high school until the Ignite program. It has introduced me to the chamber, and I think that's something that I'd be interested in. But if it wasn't for the Ignite program, I wouldn't be where I am today.
In 2025, we had 6 great business ideas. We're getting ready to open up applications for 2026. Do you have a great business idea? Are you an aspiring entrepreneur? You should look into the Ignite Youth program.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. So, our inaugural Ignite Youth program, and we're on the heels of multiple successful entrepreneurial programs in the area between Ignite and Launch Pottsville. Many of our former students, clients, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call them, they're here tonight. And through 3 iterations of this program, we've achieved an amazing metric. 30% of the aspiring entrepreneurs who have finished this program, not been awarded, finished the program, have become actual entrepreneurs in our county. It's an amazing metric. So before I go into how the particular program worked for the high school, I made a significant error, and I'm in a lot of trouble. There are actually 7 judges, only 6 in your program, and I failed to get the 7th judge into the program. Oversight on my part, but most of you know Hannah Carpaccio, and if you don't, Hannah, why don't you give a quick wave. You know her company. She is an entrepreneur, HC Digital Agency, and if you don't, let me tell you that you certainly will. Her and her husband are Pottsville natives and have, in the last year, built an amazing social media management and website design company. Hannah and I worked together on many, many things, and I can tell you she was integral through this process as a judge, helping these students to get where they are tonight. I'm never going to hear the end of this, but my endless apologies, sincerely. So, the program says that this was 16 weeks, but tonight you'll see sort of the culmination of what was actually a 24-week program that began in November. This program was a college or adult level entrepreneurial program. It had real-life examples. It's important to differentiate that we are working with a high school business plan competition. It's different than what you saw in Ignite, what you saw in Launch Pottsville. Those people, the expectation, those contestants were that they were going to open a business. We're not saying that any of the entrepreneurs in the room won't eventually open a business, but it wasn't a requirement of this specific program. The program couldn't have been completed without the mentors and the judges listed in your program. They're integral to the success. But you had 16 modules held at Penn State School, 3 work sessions, 2 mock judges, 3 weeks of perfecting their pitch. Like I said, 24 weeks. They had to provide deliverables in order to get here tonight. Those deliverables were the business plan, the pro forma or 3-year financial forecast, and then your startup costs. They had in-person interviews, they had guest speakers, they had one-on-ones, sometimes on Saturday and Sunday afternoons. These are the things you don't see behind the scenes, but your judges have seen in this detail. So how did they determine their asks tonight? They're crafting their futures with their asks as professionals and as business and community leaders. What does their future look like? You're going to get some insight as to what that looks like tonight.
So what's great about a program like this is because of the different asks and the different goals and what you're doing, we kind of figure maybe there's a little something out there that can help every one of your businesses get to the next level. All right? So I'd like to introduce, at first, King's Fitness. How about $2,000 for a boxing certificate program for yourself so you can get up and ready to go and start training those kids. For It's Not Just a Phase, $3,000 scholarship to Empire Beauty. Carson, market yourself. $2,000 of L-Tri-C expenses. And if you decide to go to Alvernia, a $10,000 tuition package. Holly, New York Deli. $2,500 in opaque counseling for business counseling, $3,000 in flex money for the actual truck, and when you get to this level, the Ignite Adult Program will also give you tuition to that program when you get to that stage. So congratulations. Simone's Cafe, $5,000. Flexible for you to get your business certificate, to get that program moving, and tuition for the Ignite program when you get to when you're ready for it. Congratulations. And the grand prize winners tonight have the delicious treats in the back. I hope you got to sample. Blissberry, both Delaney and Alex will be receiving a $5,000 tuition scholarship. Congratulations, everybody. Great work. You all did so fantastic. I'm really proud of you. I hope that everything that you received gets you to the next level of where you need to be. So, congratulations. Thank you, everyone, for coming.